Shut the gates. I'm back. Round 3. First game on the Super Saturday. We have the Warriors at home at the Central Coast against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. I think the Dragons may get this one, but this is another toss of the coin. I tell you, there's a few good games this week. They've got a few blockbusters on the Super Saturday. The Dragons not that impressive in their first 2 weeks. 2 losses, same as the Warriors. The first week they were really scrappy against the Tigers. I feel like they might have been able to get the win, but they just didn't execute that well. And the second game, the Panthers really let the Dragons back in it. I thought there was going to be an absolute bloodbath to the Dragons, but then Duffy got that intercept try and got the Dragons back in it with, I think it was 3 quick tries from the Dragons after that Duffy intercept. So, but then again, the Dragons' defense just was terrible, and they let in more tries and end up being a 30-point scoreline. So the Warriors though. The Warriors, they're on the same level as the Titans, and I think they're just going to struggle to score points. I can't, they got 2 of the best wingers in the game as well, and they just can't seem to get the ball to them. It's the Warriors have scored one try in 2 weeks. They lost 20-0 against the Newcastle Knights, and then I think they got like a consolation try or something against the Raiders. And the Raiders weren't even playing that well, but they still put a score on them. So Nikorima really been a bit of a bust since signing. They're a bit of a flop. So Kane Lawton, I think he's back over there playing hooker this week. I don't see them winning. I need to see them doing something before I can tip them at least. Where I see at least the Dragons can score points, it's just their defense that's more worrying to me. But if the Warriors can't score anything against this mob, pack it in. Honestly, they need something quick. I'd be on the phone if I'm the Warriors. I'll be on the phone to Gal. I'll be on the phone to Lewis. I'll be on the phone to Slater. Just saying, can you play for the year? You don't have to go anywhere. We're just at the Central Coast. So they should really be looking into that sort of thing. Just trying to give them not just like reserve grade replacement players if they need them, but trying to get that top talent, and just really stealing up that lineup, even if it's just for the year. Just try to give them a little bit of a culture, especially with Gallen and Lewis and Slater. That would really set them up well for the future if they listened. But I still think Kearney's the worst coach in the NRL, so he won't do it. He's terrible, and it's just a matter of time before he gets sacked. Really. It probably won't be this year because they're going to get the Central Coast sort of, Central Coast, we weren't at home the whole season. It doesn't matter. It's probably more advantage if they're playing in Central Coast because they never have to travel across Australia, across the Tasman again. So, they're in a hotel. I get they're not with their families. I get it, but they've got to think. They're getting all their meals probably cooked for them. Everything's probably being washed for them. Everything's being done for them, and then they're probably 15 minutes, up the road, and they're at their stadium against someone that's like Canberra. They have to travel even in the home games. They have to travel, 2 or 3 hours every time. So, I think the Dragons are going to get this one just because I think they're going to have more points in them. Not because they're going to play particularly well, but just because I think the Dragons are going to get there, and I think they're going to score a little bit more points. So Zach Lomax, I think it's going to be a real good one. I'm going to go Dragons. I'm going to go Dragons 8+. 8+. I think they'll be all right here. And if they don't, though, they're in some trouble. What do you guys think, though? Warriors, can they win their first home game in Australia, or will the Dragons will they be a little bit too classy and a little bit too not classy, but just will they score more points? Let me know in the comments. Shut the gates.